Here we go. Hello, Dr. Gail. Welcome back. Thank you for being here for Awesome Aliens #2.
Yes, thank you, Kim. Thank you for having me back. I enjoyed it so much last time. And you had some great questions.
Well, this time I have questions from the community.
I love the questions from everybody because it gets my brain thinking and turning. And a lot of times it makes me remember what I have learned or me to bring it up. So yeah, I love the questions.
Good. And I just want to remind everybody that Dr. Gail is a Starseed healer. She works with aliens and ETs in very healing ways, therapeutic ways, and also is pretty much a master in this area. So thank you for joining.
I don't know about master. I feel like a student.
Okay. And you have a history of being a nurse and a chiropractor. And so you come in as a long-term healer.
Yes.
And continue to be in another extra dimensional way.
Yes.
And I have to say too, since we met 2 weeks ago, I have been on a journey of, like, oh my gosh, and my world opened up. So thank you for that. And I think a lot of people.
Yeah. So it seems like people I'm coming in contact with, everybody's starting to open up. And I think I've become a real safe place to talk about it because nobody's story is as crazy as mine. I mean, look how many crazy stories I've got out there. So they go, oh, well, my story's nothing compared to hers. You don't need to tell her all about it. So, yeah, I think it's become a real safe place for us now to discuss what's happened to us because as a child or whatever, you saw an ET or a spaceship, you dismissed it. And now everybody's kind of remembering and it didn't need to be dismissed. It actually did happen. And now we're open to start talking about it.
Yes, and that's actually one of the questions and comments in the chat about that. She said she saw a spaceship in her backyard and she saw a little alien, a little waving at her. I was like, what is that about? You know?
Well, that was a great encounter. I mean, especially a first encounter to have it waving at her, but I have a feeling she probably knew this alien and probably had some contact with it in the past. But yeah, thank goodness she has a memory of a friendly encounter. So that's really good.
Nice, nice. Okay, so are you ready for some questions?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, thank you. So the first one, and this is more of a statement, is from Jane Laymayer. And she says, it's all mind-blowing, but then so is the reality we share with Earth and beyond, with many life forms like fairies. I'm very open to your experiences and they are thrilling. So that's all. She just wanted to say that. So isn't that wonderful?
Thank you, Jane. Yeah, thank you. I imagine, Jane, you're having some experiences too. And so I might be kind of opening you up also. But yeah, thank you, Jane. I appreciate it. I appreciate you watching my videos.
Yeah, that's right. And you do have some wonderful videos too. I know, and they're nice and short mostly.
Yeah, they're mostly short. Yeah, they're usually, I would say the average is maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
now, before 2 weeks ago, Dr. Gail, I just have to say again, I was like, but now I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it.
I know you have made a big change.
Yes. Well, you have, you have. Okay. Yes. Question 2, Damaris Wilson. Hi, Kim and Dr. Gail. Thanks for turning us on and tuning us in to Dr. Gail. Dr. Gail, does a person always know their connection with ETs? Is it a feeling or is it an absolute knowing? And part 2 is, I have been fascinated with the subject since Mr. Reptilian looked into my window. So I don't know what that's about.
Wow, Mr. Reptilian, I wonder if he waved. She would have said if he waved. But I think anybody who's watching my channel or watching Kim's channel or all these channels, I think we're all going to be having contact with aliens. We're all opened up to it. And I don't know that it's a knowing because our lives sometimes are so busy that we don't realize those things are going on in our life. And a lot of times it's when we get still that these things happen. That's what happened to me. And some of us are just too busy to recognize it. So I don't know what it will take for them to actually have that knowing or feeling, but it's really get still on meditation and things like that. So when you get really still, and that's when they come in. So yeah, it's you probably have a knowing because you obviously are listening to us, and so you have some kind of connection. And I know the people I am communicating with, I've been told over and over again, are the ones that are supposed to hear me. There's some connection to the people that I am talking to, and you're supposed to hear me. So I think anybody who's listening to me has some kind of connection to them, and I am either, I don't know what you call it, activator or whatever, kind of get people to open up and realize what's going on. But yeah.
Oh, interesting. Now, Dr. Gail, does it matter that we know who our descendants are, or our ancestry is in the ET world? Does that really matter?
Well, it helps to know what you're like or some characteristics that you might have. It does help on that. And even if you have children, if you know their background, you know how they're developing. So it's not necessary, but it does help. But and then again, a lot of us have a lot of influences from different planets. We have reincarnated as a Palladian and an Arcturian, serious. We have gone all over the place. So we have picked up a lot of traits from a lot of places. So I think it does help to know where you're from. And yeah.
Okay, now I'm going off a little bit here. So let's just say most of us have been to all these planets, many of us, right? So then we've already been to planets then that are in the 5D or higher. Now, why are we coming back here? So we can help the 3D world go up?
Yes, exactly. We all volunteer to come here to help this Earth ascend. So all the star seeds that are here, that's what we volunteered for. We raised our hand. Said, yes, I volunteer to go down there and help you. And so that's why we're all here. And that's why we're all figuring it out and awakening to it now. It's because we're now kind of remembering that, oh yeah, I did volunteer for this.
Okay. So, yes. And can we also be, like, I believe that part of us, we can be in many places at once. So do you think that we have an Earth body and then maybe we have an Arcturian body as well at the same time?
Well, I haven't really thought about it, but I think that is possible. I mean, but especially because time travel is not linear. So your future self could be out there in an Arcturian body, and your now self could be in a human body. Your past self could be in another body. So yeah, I think we have such a linear outlook on everything that, I think that's very possible.
Okay, that makes sense to me. It resonates with me. not that I have memories of this or anything, but it resonates.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Lucy is just asking, will we, and I think you answered this on last video, by the way, video 1, will we have, as individuals, will we have interactions with ETs? I mean, obviously we are.
Yes, and we're going more and more and more have interactions with ETs because they're preparing us for their arrival, and we're all going to be working with them and having interaction with them, especially this audience. And it's going to be way before they land on the lawn somewhere and walk out and present themselves. We're all going to be working with them, and when they land, that's for everybody else that hasn't believed in ETs, and we're all going to be going, oh yeah, that's an ET walking out. Yeah, I already know him. Yeah, that's George or somebody. Yeah, we're all going to be working with them. And it's not going to be any big deal to us. We were just going to go, well, it's about time.
Okay. When they first come out to be more public, for the general population, do you think that we're going to say that's a hybrid? I mean, will they look more human, or will they definitely look really different?
Well, I sit on the board of the First Contact, and the guy that they have chosen, I don't approve of who they've chosen. I'm the only human on that board, and I think I should be the one that has more power on the decisions on who it should be that walks out. So right now it's a gray hybrid that they've chosen, and they keep showing me his credentials, which are wonderful. But I still go, they're human, because this guy is gray and he's modeled coloring, and he has almost like a birthmark looking on half his face. And I don't think we'll be receptive to that. And so I keep telling them that. So I'm not sure. I do think I should have more of an opinion since I'm the only human on that board.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we have a little dissension there.
I see. So you have some time to work it out. But
Yes.
I can't imagine it's going to be just one. There's going to be multiple coming down at the same time. I mean,
Right. But I think off of that spaceship, that's who's the one that's going to be coming out. And they've shown me how it's going to happen. Like it is going to be a grassy lawn that's going to land. It's not going to be in the US. It's going to be in a neutral country. And but we will have everybody have invitations, taking pictures and cameras and whatever. And the spaceship will land and he or whoever he is will walk out. Now, apparently at this time I'm supposed to be there. I'm not sure if I am now that I'm supposed to be standing beside because I'm the medical person. I'm standing over the side with 2 other medical people and military. But I don't know if that's truly what's going to happen because I'm being called now to do another job. So I'm not sure if that I'm still going to be having that job.
I see. Okay, so I keep thinking more questions.
That's fine.
And I've got a list from the community as well. But so when ETs come in, they have to change the way they breathe, I'm assuming, and how much oxygen, nitrogen, all that they, to be able to breathe on Earth, right? Before they can actually come out of the spaceship.
Right. Well, all of them's different. Like the grays and the gray hybrids, they can adapt to the Earth.
Okay.
And other ones have to have spacesuits, and some have adapt to breathing mechanisms. And it's all different. I mean, even when I went on the spaceship for the first time, they put me in a bubble to protect me and let me get used to it. And my bubble was almost like it was alive. It moved with me. Everything I did, it moved. But I was in a bubble, and I had 2 ETs behind me, 2 beside me, and then 1 in front of me. And they were protecting me as I walked through for me not to have too much exposure to everybody. But now I'm fine. I go all over the spaceship. I don't have to have that. But yeah, all of them are different. Even when I went down to Atlantis to a big meeting there, we were underwater and they gave me a breathing device to put in my mouth. And the first thing I said is, how am I going to talk? Well, we're talking telepathic. I forgot. And I have this breathing device. And then when I went and sat down on the table, and I was the medical officer reporting on all the hospitals, I looked up and there was levels and levels and levels of different ETs looking all different and all having different breathing devices and different suits and everything to adapt to being underwater. So yeah, they have all sorts of things to adapt. And yeah.
Okay. Is there a lot of ET? I mean, how much, on their planet? I know we're talking, I don't even know how many planets there are. A lot.
Yeah.
Uncountable, probably.
It is.
How much focus is it for them now to focus on Earth? Or is it just a small amount of the population? Are these just the young, foolhardy ones that are coming to want to help us? Or this is like a big majority of the population, do you think?
Well, most of them live like 600 or 700 years.
Yes.
So they live forever. So I would say it's a population segment that's coming to help us. But I would say it's almost like a duty or a job or also a volunteer situation coming to help us. So yeah, it varies from different species and on how many species here, because I don't think there are that many true grays here anymore.
Okay.
I think most of them are hybrids. I think the true gray, or I can't say true grays, the actual grays, it's not the name true grays. They're the little grays. I think most of them are gone. Even if you see little short ones, they are still hybrids now. But the original grays, I don't think are here anymore right now.
Okay. Now the grays, if I remember right, they have the original ones kind of shape. They have the big eyes, right? Real big eyes, and the kind of a face like this, right?
I got a picture of them. I'll show you a picture.
Okay. Good.
Because I did take a picture of them, and because I teach a class, or I finished the class at a metaphysical store here at the Rustic Raven, and I was teaching a class here. So one is the gray, and the other one is Eben, the one that wears a blue spacesuit. And sometimes when people see blue, I don't know if y'all can see it. Is it good? Can you see it?
Yes, can. Yes.
So sometimes the ones in the blue suits, sometimes when somebody says, I see something blue, I think it's Arcturian, but it can be an even, which is a type of gray. And yeah, this is an even, and this is the gray.
Yes. Okay.
And
Right.
this picture came from a series on Gaia, New Perspectives on the Grays, and it's a whole series on the Grays.
Okay.
And so it's great, and it's very informative. It's about a guy talking about he met the Grays and he works with the Grays, so he has a lot of information on that. It's a great series.
Okay, well, thank you. Ooh. And I know we were talking earlier, we just hopefully don't make any unusual mistakes when they show up here, like like they're scary. It's like, okay, blue skin with maybe an eyeball on the side and a hair coming out of the middle of the chest.
I mean, you have the most vivid imagination of anybody. You need to be drawing all that.
Like
I haven't been exposed to anything weird like that.
Okay.
I mean, I have seen a lot of strange things, but not hair growing out of anywhere, because most of them don't have hair. But yeah, I've seen all sorts of different ones and all different hybrids, and some that I can't even identify. I've rescued ETs that I couldn't identify. I didn't know what they were.
Okay.
And so they're just all over the place on what they look like. I mean, they look like ants and reptilians, and just they're all over the place.
Okay. Because I've seen some pictures nowadays that that would be so interesting to have a world full of all different species. I mean, we already have animals that are very different from us, from the humans, but then you have the ETs with the animals, and it's going to be wow, crazy.
The first time I met a Lyran, which she is one of my guides, my friend Meg, was my only metaphysical person I knew at the first, and I went running to her. I've already had done the reptilian. When I met reptilian Carl, I went running to her, and she goes, "Oh, reptilian!" I'm going, "He's so nice." She kept saying I needed to worry about it. I'm going, "He was so nice, and he's still a friend, so he is nice." There's a lot of good reptilians, but when I went running to her, going, "Are there some that look like cats?" She started laughing at me. She says, "Yes, they're called Lyrans." I went, "Well, I just met a cat-like alien." Anyway, she laughed at me a lot in the beginning. Of course, I still thought I was crazy. I still sometimes think I am. Still think I got that brain tumor.
You still look like a human to me. I mean, I know you're, a little different. I know you're maybe a hybrid or something, but okay. Oh my goodness. I had another question, but maybe I'll come back to it. Okay, so Rob Fagliano, who has a YouTube channel, he's a wonderful man. He has a question. Here's his question. Hi, Kim and Dr. Gail. I've been wondering if aliens, presumably multidimensional, will seem somewhat more detached than we are. Maybe in temperament to those with the autism spectrum, kind, but not overly emotional. This also reminds me of aspects of Buddhism for some reason, when enlightenment involves a kind of detachment. That's from Rob. What do you think?
Well, because of the hybrid program, the ETs do develop some personalities and things, and I do deal with some that have a great sense of humor. And I would say in general, they might be a little more detached and not quite as emotional as we are. But I tell you, my favorite ones are the ones that do have more emotions or funny. And the little teenage gray hybrid that I was dealing with for a while, who kept stealing a spaceship and running away, she was a hybrid, and she wanted to be a teenager on Earth. And she was just like a teenager, except she looked gray, and so she couldn't come down here and live. But so it's all over the place on the personalities. But I would say they are a little more, not quite, where they're not as emotional as we are, unless they're a hybrid. But so I guess I would say, yeah, they are a little more attached, but they still have more love for each other than we do. So I guess it's kind of an exchange on emotions, maybe.
I see. Yeah. And I think I heard somewhere that they're in horror, that we even like to watch war or killing people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, we're horrible.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? So what happens to the people on Earth that want to stay in the 3D and the people who decide they want to go to the 5D? So is there going to be a new place, or how are we going to still live in like we are now, kind of on parallel lives here on this planet? Or are there going to, do you think there will be actually two different planets?
Yeah, there's going to be two different planets. The people in the 3D are going to go to another 3D planet where they're comfortable, because this planet is ascending and we'll stay here. But everybody's going to go where they're comfortable. We really don't want, and this took me a long time to accept. I don't know how many times I had to be told this, because my family members I was really worried about. And they kept saying they're just going to go where you're comfortable. We don't want anybody to go where they're not comfortable. If they want to stay in 3D, they can go to a 3D planet, and this Earth will move up. So that is how it's going to happen. So we can all relax about it. Everybody's going to go comfortable.
We're going to stay here probably. Yes.
Yeah, we're going to stay here.
I can't wait to be into the 5D. You know?
I know,
because we're so behind the times down here.
especially when we're at war with each other.
Right. Oh my gosh. That's okay. Alphanumeric 1. That's a person who has a question. Hi, Kim. Looking forward to seeing Dr. Gail in your show again. Hi, Alphanumeric 1. In one of her YouTube videos, she mentioned she wanted to quit coffee and sugar. Other than general physical health, are there any other specific reasons for this, like spiritual or space related? And are there any acceptable and affordable substitutes?
Well, first off, I didn't choose to do this. I would have never given up my coffee. And I was thought twice about the sugar. I love my chocolate. No, they often put me on a special diet. Like when I first was going up in the spaceship, they put me on a bland diet. I had to go on it for 5 days before I went up in the spaceship. And I was glad, because after my going up there for about 3 days, I was nauseated afterwards. So whenever they tell me to do something like that, it's for my benefit. And from right now, my body's going through a big change because I'm moving to Mount Shasta, and they're changing my DNA or whatever they're doing to me. So that's why they're saying no caffeine, no chocolate, no alcohol, and that they wanted me to go towards a plant-based diet. And that is just for my benefit. And I don't know that I'm going to have to be on this forever, but it is for my transition time. And yeah, I miss my coffee. Now they tell me I can have it once a month now. I can start having it once a month. I have to do foot baths also. I'm having to do, I had to do the ionic foot baths for 2 weeks to get the metal out of my body. And then I have to do it once every 2 weeks now. So there's other things that I'm having to do help with this transition, not just my diet, but that's the one I most recognize that.
Wow. Wow, Dr. Gail. I'm glad it's you, not me.
Well, Valentine's Day, I'm having my chocolate.
Oh, you are? Okay.
And I think I'm going to eat chocolate all day long. Once a month. So.
Oh my goodness. That's a good question though. Are most ETs plant-based? Are they mostly plant-based?
Well, no, not necessarily. I would say, well, I have never seen anything not eat. Well, I see them eat mush, and a lot of them don't eat at all. I mean, a lot of them are just self-sustaining, but I've never even seen any of them eat vegetables actually.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. In last week, I saw one, I told you a little bit on Sharon's show, so skinny, but it was like really, I didn't see every bone. Is that normal?
No, I don't see that that's normal. I have seen that, but as again, they don't eat, and I have never seen a fat alien.
Yeah.
In fact, when I went on the spaceship, they put me in my uniform the first time. I don't know if everybody saw that video, but they put me in a uniform, and it was so tight that every one of my rolls showed up. And I was walking around stiff-legged because I couldn't move because this thing was so tight. And they took me, that's when they put me in that meeting for first contact for the first time. And I'm walking in and I'm having to sit down in that uniform. But a couple of days later, they had a new uniform for me that fit. But that uniform, it was terrible. But, nobody has curves on that spaceship. They're all thin.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, this one I saw was really skinny.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. So this is so interesting. I mean, really, it's a little bit mind-blowing, right?
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, I still even to imagine you going on a spaceship and like you keep your body here and you go there, but you put on the suit,
Yeah, since the last time
So
I was
that feels
here,
that even that.
Yeah, last time I was here with you, I realized how I felt differently when I go up to the spaceship, that I do travel as a light being. And
Okay.
then when I am going and checking on the other hospital spaceships, I do astral travel then. So I know the difference between me traveling as my body as a light being versus astral traveling. So it's very distinct feeling.
Okay. So that's something that I have yet to accomplish. Maybe never.
No, I think you are. I think you're doing more than you think you are.
Okay, so now we have another question. And this is from Atlanta Brookenall. I'm probably not saying that right. Okay.
Oh, Kim. Where are you, Kim?
Do aliens take people? There you are. Okay, so sorry. Did you hear the question?
Yeah, no, I didn't hear the question. You totally went away.
I'm so sorry. Okay. This is from Atlanta Brookenall. Do aliens take people and replace them with the devil?
Oh, I've heard that. I've heard that rumor, or I've heard somebody say that. I've heard people walking into bodies. I've not seen that. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question because I haven't experienced it or seen it. I'm just going to say, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I don't either.
I wouldn't put it past, especially if somebody's wanting to transition out at an earlier age, that they could replace it with the alien would be pretty easy. Because me traveling as a light being, I take my human body off. So, I mean, it would be very possible to do that, but I don't know. I haven't experienced it. I haven't seen it, but it is possible for sure.
Okay, good. Okay, now here's another question. And this may have been, we talked about it maybe in the first video a bit. This is from Alice Long, who I know is a healer. I know her personally. Are ETs helping with new medical healing and solutions like laser treatments or surgeries?
Yeah, ETs are all involved in our medical, and they really would like us to have more information and more help on that. It's our companies that are holding it back because they need to have it step by step by step because they make more money that way. Mm-hmm. If it was up to the ETs, they would be going, here's it all. This will help you all. But our big companies, they don't make money that way. If all of a sudden it was given to us like that. So we'll eventually get it step by step, but there's a lot out there that it's already here. It's just that we don't have access to.
I see. Okay. And this reminds me, I know everybody talks about sound and color as the new healing tool. I mean, it's ancient. It's also current, but is this something they use as well, the sound and color?
Yeah, I use especially color. I use a lot of color. And a friend of mine has just sent me some information on somebody who is a sound healer. Mm-hmm. That there's a reason why she sent it to me. So I'm going to have to look at that. Mine's more on vibration of the colors and things that I go on. But I haven't involved different sounds into it yet. It's just the color vibration. And I'm not real sure how to differentiate that, but I imagine sound is going to be a big healing modality here in the future, just like color.
Right, I agree, and I use both too in my work too as well. Okay, So it's just, I'm wonderful that they're also using that. Now, do they also use plant-based medicine?
Well, most of them is different. Like we take pills and have to have IVs and things like that. Theirs are more creams. So like a blood transfusion is done with a cream, put on body. And so it's just different, just totally different. It's a lot easier for treating them than it is a human, because we actually have to penetrate the body or have to have something orally. And for them, it's not necessarily, it's more creams and things.
Okay. Do they have a vascular system similar to us?
I wouldn't say it's similar to us, but it's just not as fragile as ours.
Oh,
It's not, it's just not, well, their whole bodies are not as fragile as ours because they live so long. Their bodies are so much better than ours.
Okay. And do you happen to know if they can regenerate like a spinal cord, or can they regenerate a limb or something like that?
I think that's just going to be with different species.
Okay.
I don't, it's hard to put that like on every species out there, put a blanket statement out there on how each one do, if that one regenerates and one doesn't. That's a little tough.
Well, just like actually all these questions, right? I mean, we're talking about how many, probably million different species, and we're trying to have a one question
exactly
for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And it's even like going on the planet. It's like, going on a Palladian planet or going on Arcturian. There's different species on these planets and stars. There's more than one on and I didn't know that until I started going and visit these planets and stars, that, oh, wow, there's more than one type here. So it's just amazing how many are out there.
Yeah. I mean, I think our minds right now, at least mine, is so much like that. Okay. Are they all like this? We're all so interested now, but some people are totally scared to death, really frightened about the prospect of having ETs just, going to the cafeteria and having an ET sitting across from them.
I know. Well, I met those two ETs down at the dog park, and they were just so odd but I had asked several months before, or a month before, that I was ready to meet them in the 3D, but don't send me somebody that scared me. And that was my thing they put. And sure enough, they sent me two human looking ones, a brother and sister. And but they were very odd, but they were reading my mind the whole time I was there. They were telepathic, they just, it was amazing. But I think that's how, their intention is not to scare us. They do want us to kind of come, okay, you have frozen on me again. Are you there?
I'm here. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know why. Who's doing that?
It's like, whoa, stop.
Okay. Now we're getting down to the end of our questions, actually.
Okay.
So this is a little bit they covered on the first video, or we did. And Mary Temple's asking, is your experience something like you remember it as if you were a dream, or do you remember it in real time? And it's hard to grasp dual reality, she says.
Yeah, it's real time. It did start, I think, when I was dreaming, and then it started step up when I meditated, and now I don't have to be doing any of that. It's real time. Now, real time means time traveling, like 5 minutes here could be a whole day there. So there's a lot of time traveling to it also.
Oh, I see. Right. And I understand, from my little bit of investigation now in the last 2 weeks, that time is different on each planet or whatever. I mean,
right.
It's not all going to be, you can't blanket. There's no,
it's not linear. We want to put it in a box, make it linear, and we can't do that. And we can't wrap our minds around that.
Yes. And I also remember, now this is something I thought was interesting, because I even kind of wondered about this myself. Now, again, I can't generalize like this, but do some of them feel, as far as the God source or the source of all there is there really a one being, or is it more just energy? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, and I don't really know how to answer that.
Okay.
I feel that there's one energy being, but that might not be the reality. But that's my belief, that there is one energetic being. So, but I can't be the one that goes, yes, this is this. Yeah. That has to be everybody's belief system and what they believe in.
Right. I mean, you got and look at even the Earth, how many different belief systems there are.
Right.
So for us to even try to figure out all the million of different planets would be
Exactly.
But I don't know. I think I saw this somewhere that they believe, as a general rule, more of like a sort, like a, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Not a one particular person, not a God, but more of source.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I would say they call it source, but I think it's more like energy.
Yeah.
Just energy.
Okay. Okay. Now, G. Kim, and I think we may have touched on this on the first video. And by the way, everybody, you should go back and watch the first video too, because it was awesome. Again, okay.
It was great questions.
Okay. Now, G is asking, does meditating increase your chance of connection with ET, or do ETs connect randomly with whomever they want? And does a person's psychic ability increase once they've been contacted by an ET?
Wow, that's a good question. Yeah, well, definitely meditating is going to connect you to them.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's random. I think it's more your star family that you can come in contact with, or your guides, whichever one. I don't think it's random. And increasing your abilities, I don't know about that either, because my abilities keep increasing, but I don't know if it's because of my exposure to them. But well, no, it's Jesus that actually continually gives me my gifts. He's the one that presents me with a new gift and a new gift, new gift. So he's the one that's doing that. So I'm not sure about your psychic abilities being enhanced, but I think going in meditation, I think it's probably already in you, and you're just opening up to it is probably what's really happening.
I would agree with that. Yeah, because I've seen, over the years, I mean, I've seen ETs. I just haven't had I haven't had conversations and been on spaceships like you have, but I've seen them. I don't even know. I mean, I can't numerous times. I can't count, too many times to count.
Right.
But I don't know that they did. I don't feel like when I started seeing them that my psychic abilities opened up. No.
Right.
I don't think so.
I think your psychic abilities open up and then you see them.
Right. That's what I think. I agree. That feels right to me. Although I have heard of these people saying that they had a big change.
Right.
When some contact. So maybe it's not all linear in that either.
Yeah, that could be. I agree. It might not be. Oh, who knows?
Yes, right.
We can have this discussion for hours.
Exactly. But we know with this time, and as everything is rising up and increasing in vibration, that everybody's psychic abilities are opening up now. So it would not be surprising. And probably all of us are seeing ETs now, and maybe we don't even realize that's what we're seeing.
Right. That's true. And you're probably seeing them in your dream state also. Some interaction with them. But yes, we start opening up and making it normal that we're seeing it, especially in our group, then they're going to feel freer to come into us, especially when we're in a group of energy. It's going to be easier for them to come in.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Or easier for us to see them. I think that would be more like it. Easier for us to see them.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you. Now, Dr. Gail, so I feel like we're coming to the end here. Is there anything I want to just, first of all, thank you so much. I feel like I've learned a lot. Like I learned a lot the first time, and now I'm learning a lot this time. Is there anything that you want to share with the audience about, anything?
Well, as I said before, just don't quit waiting for that arrival of the long, big presentation of the ETs coming off a spaceship. You're going to have interaction with them now. You're going to have interaction. You're going to be so used to them before that ever happens. So don't keep waiting for that one special moment when they walk off the ship. I mean, it's going to be great when they do, but you're already going to be working with them at that time. That's the audience that's already going to be working with them. You're already going to be exposed to them.
Yes. Yeah.
That was my biggest message.
I love that. I love the idea that it's going to be nice and easy, nothing to be afraid of.
Right. Exactly.
We're going to be very comfortable. we're being a comfortable situation, at least this group.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Well, thank you, Dr. Gail. And so appreciative of you sharing your knowledge and your wisdom and coming in here and just opening yourself up to any question, because I feel, it could be very, there's a lot, who knows what the questions are going to be thrown at you here, right? And you have come out of the ET closet. So thank you. And maybe we can all come out of the ET closet even more because of you.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I think we're all going to come out of the ET closet. I'm just a safe place for people to talk about it.
Thank you so much. And your channel is Skywalking with Moon.
Yes.
I'm going to put the link below. So blessings to you and everybody.
All right. Thanks, Kim. And thanks everybody for the questions.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye.